Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The JINN-BOT of Shantiport by Samit Basu. It's the third week of our sci-fi month here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, and I am so excited to be talking about JINN-BOT because, wow, this book is fun. It's a retelling of Aladdin in a far-flung future on an alien planet in a city that is populated by humans and bots. There are space heroes who descend from their galactic adventures and giant mecha battles. And at the same time, if you're familiar with the folktale of Aladdin, there are all of these really wonderful elements that are drawn from that story, the Jinn of the Ring and the Jinn of the Lamp, and all sorts of wonderful pieces from the really, long period of time, the centuries that we've had this story as one that we share and tell, extrapolated into new and exciting ways. So a very fun story for people who both love these sort of Arabian Nights wonder tales and for long-term sci-fi fans. I had a great time with it. I grinned from ear to ear in seeing new things and familiar things, and just really, really enjoyed it. It's a story of two siblings, Lena, a human, and her brother, Bador, a monkey bot, but neither of them is the narrator of the story. Instead, we have Moku, who is a story bot, and so we get to have this wonderful narrative conceit that really ties into the history of the Arabian Nights, of the story as a story, in the active sense of being told, being observed, being transformed into a narrative, and the ways in which that leads to certain expectations on the parts of the characters, and ways in which that can be subverted. It's just delightfully clever and funny, and the perfect book for these colder days. I know that I always want to have a nice, sultry, high humidity, hot sort of read in the late fall and into the winter, and JINN-BOT has definitely delivered that for me. I love a desert book. I love a mangrove swamp book when the weather is cold outside, because it just feels warm in my bones. So, of course, we had to have a drink inspired by it. This is like so many of my favorite things all together. And without any further ado, let's not get ahead of ourselves with the ice. Let's turn to our drink. Our drink today is a mocktail. It is called Tiger Blood, for this sort of ritual drink that the rulers of Shantiport, the Tiger Clan, consume as part of their sort of community and culture. It is, in the context of the book, a wine, but for us, we're going to be making a mocktail. And if you should choose to add, a splash or an ounce of rum, well, that's no one's business but your own, and I highly encourage it for those looking to add a little extra kick. So, for our Tiger Blood, we're going to start with 1.5 ounces of peach shrub. It's that peach shrub that we used over the summer, we used for Ebony Gate, and it's going to bring this wonderful sort of vinegary tang, but also the sweetness, that golden quality of the peaches. Lovely. We're going to get 1.5 ounces of mango juice. Oh, it smells so good. This wonderful sort of combination of fruitiness and the vinegar zing. It's just so refreshing, and such a nice sort of dessert kind of drink, dessert kind of mocktail. If you're somebody who, at the end of the meal, wants some fruit instead of chocolate or pastry, then this is sort of the drink that you might enjoy then. We're going to add half an ounce of our molasses syrup, 2 parts molasses, 1 part water, just to make it a little easier to pour, and that's going to bring some darkness and depth to our tiger blood. And then to round things out, a couple of dashes of cardamom bitters. It's this nice light spice, very warming, really great for fall and winter, not quite the heavy cinnamon allspice baking notes of our other aromatic bitters like Angostura, something that's just going to play lightly on the top of the palate and bring a bit of depth as well. We're just going to get good 4 dashes or so. As always with bitters, it's easy to add more, hard to add less. If you decide in the context of making your tiger blood that you want a little more intensity to it, then by all means add a few more dashes of those bitters. The ones I'm using today are from the Bitter Housewife, and they really are a favorite of mine. Now, here we have our mocktail complete. We will not be adding any truth serum to our mocktail. I'll save that for the Jomidar, the leader of the tiger clan there on Shantiport. And we're going to get our ice down in there. Lovely. And give it a stir. Nice, supple, storied, just delicious. Getting not quite the scarlet of the tiger blood in the novel, but certainly a nice rich red darkness that disguises some of the brightness that we're going to get from our peach shrub and our mango juice. Just a nice layered effect to our flavors in here. And we're going to want to stir until our ice and the liquid are roughly equilibrious. So about 20 seconds or so. That looks good. Take our handy dandy julep strainer, whoop, and strain into the glass. Perfect. And there you have it. That's the Tiger Blood, a mocktail inspired by the JINN-BOT of Shantiport. This is a non-alcoholic drink. If you wanted to add an ounce of rum to make it a cocktail, then certainly you could do that with my blessing and with the blessing of Zora, the mother of Lena and Bador. It's gonna add a little extra heat, but we have such strong contenders in there that it's not going to overbalance our mocktail into the realm of booziness. JINN-BOT, the JINN-BOT of Shantiport, is available now. I've got a link to snag the book in the description down below. If you like retellings, if you like just really clever, twisty science fiction that has that wonderful science fantasy quality, that sci-fi take on a classic sort of fairy tale, wonder tale, I think you're really going to have a lot of fun with JINN-BOT. I certainly did. I've got a link to find the bitters from the Bitter Housewife in the description below as well, and links to various forms of social media, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. We're all over the place these days. Try the drink. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button. It makes me so very happy when those numbers go up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and tell your friends about what we do here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. We will be back next week after Thanksgiving for our final new sci-fi of the month, as well as our monthly bonus episode. So look forward to that next week. And until next time, cheers.